Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you all to the new subscribers. Thank you all for showing your support by liking the videos, commenting, and sharing the videos as well. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed.
Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well today. It has definitely been a few days since I have been on here. It has been a lot. I feel like, with work and, just me trying to, find a rhythm, it has definitely been difficult for me. But I have not forgotten about y'all. I am still trying to remain active. I'm still trying to get some videos out to y'all, but it has definitely been a challenge. But I do appreciate y'all's understanding, and we're definitely going to figure this out. But there is a live that Olivia did. I believe it was yesterday, and I have not watched this video. I am going to be watching it for the first time with y'all, but I can definitely let you know that there is going to have to be a part 2 to this because there was so much in this live. I just could not, say everything that I wanted to say here, and I wasn't able to really just cover everything in this live. But we do have a lot to get into, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this video.
I had to get this man on camera. Woo! The man that cut AJ's hair, baby. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Oh my god, he was so fine. And I couldn't tell if he was flirting with me. I couldn't tell. I mean, I have no business flirting with anybody because I'm in this predicament. But oh my god, you guys, he was so fine. He was so fucking fine. Like, phew, he'll be in the vlog tomorrow. It's fucking fine ass. Oh my god. He probably wasn't flirting with me though. I think I'm just delusional. But ooh wee child. I'm talking tall, chocolate, gorgeous. Ugh. Ooh. Anyway.
Barber shop. We at the barber shop. Wait
What is it? Good haircut.
Hey, where are you?
He's over there.
Oh,
you look clean. Turn around. AJ got his hair cut. We're done.
Y'all, this is who Olivia said was so fine. This explains a lot because Olivia comes on here all the time hyping up these dudes that she messes with, and she swears up and down they are so fine. And this is who she said was fine. Okay. But this girl is about to give birth any day now, and she's already trying to get with somebody else. Now I'm trying to figure out, why did this girl believe that this man was flirting with her? I think Olivia is the type of female that would think if a man looks her way, she would think that man wants her. And it's very much given delusional, Olivia, that in your mind, you are really trying to rationalize whether or not this man was flirting with you or not. It's like this girl cannot just do everyday, regular, smegular activities that doesn't require her lusting after a man, thinking that a man is wanting to get with her. Like, girl, can you just do regular day-to-day stuff with your children and not be thinking about a man?
Okay, let me stop thinking about it. Girl, I'm not playing. No, because when I left, I paid him, and then he was like, that number you called, that's my cell phone. Save my number. And I was like, okay. My stupid ass. My stupid ass. He's just trying to keep his business. Oh my god, that's so funny. Anyway, hi y'all. He was fine. Oh, he was fine. Okay, anyway. I want to talk to you guys. I got a comment, okay? Let me say this, okay? I know I get all worked up. I'm sorry. That's why I didn't want to say nothing. I didn't want to get started because, ooh, wee, child. You guys should have seen me in there. I was like, uh huh. I was just listening to him because he just kept talking and talking and talking. Girl, he could tell me his whole life story, bitch. Okay, I wouldn't care. Just keep on talking. Gorgeous, dark. Oh my God, he was so fucking fine. Anyway.
Watching Olivia act this way as she's talking about how she was responding to this man at this barbershop, it really says a lot. Like it is a huge eye opener to me to see the type of woman Olivia is when it comes to men. Like, she really revealed a lot more than I think she realizes.
Okay, anyway, and he was like dressed like a cowboy. He's a businessman. No, he didn't have a ring on. But he has to be married. Sometimes men don't wear rings, you know what I mean? When they do shit, because they, whatever. Okay, so before anybody's like, oh my God, here she goes talking about this again. Yes, because it's my situation, it's my story. I got comments, and we're going to address the comments. Okay? Why I didn't show up to my son's graduation. Okay? So I'm going to read her comment, and I'm going to answer it. Okay? Because I feel like more than anything, people like to rewrite my story, and they like to make the narratives or whatever they want to make it. Olivia's always the bad guy, and I'm the one left, broken, hurt, downtrodden, this, that, whatever the fuck. It's always, that's the narrative. Okay, whatever. People can run with whatever narrative they want, but I will never allow people to put me there and leave me there. I know my story. I know what I've been through. Obviously, it's my story. And no, what I've been through has not broken me. A man has not broken me. The situation with my kids hurt me, devastated me. But people always want to make this about that man, and it's not about him. It's not about my feelings towards that man. It hasn't been about that for 5 years. Okay? And then they want to throw in the woman, and she has nothing to do with it. People just love to throw her in it to rub me the wrong way. But honestly, let's be real. I'm the mom, he's the dad, and that's all that should matter in my situation.
You are right, Olivia. That is all that should matter, is the fact that you are the mother, Gerard is the father, and the issues that took place as a result of you losing your children, that should have been where it was. But instead, you did incorporate that woman into this whole situation. You dragged her for 5+ years. So if it was never about that woman, which you're referring to Nisha, why did you constantly keep bringing her up in this situation? And then the fact that you're trying to make it seem like people, and again, I can only speak for myself, but it's like you're trying to make it seem like everybody that speaks about you is trying to rewrite your story. You say, I know my story. I know what happened. Cool. But if you're on the internet, Olivia, and you're showing your real life, unedited, isn't it a true statement to say that there are some things about your life that other people also are aware of? If you come onto the internet and you have a conversation with Gerard or about Gerard, isn't it a true statement that there are people who are aware that you had a conversation with Gerard? Wouldn't it be true that whatever you show on the internet, other people will also be privy to that information too? So I don't understand why you're trying to make it seem like everybody that speaks on you is trying to rewrite your story when a lot of people have been watching your story play out. So how is it that every single person that speaks on your life is speaking misinformation if they've been watching your videos? If we're watching how you're interacting with your children and we recount what we saw, what we witnessed, what we observed, how is that a lie? If we've been listening to you for years drag Nisha, how is it a lie if we in turn tell you this is what you've been doing for 5+ years regarding Nisha? This is what you've been doing when it comes to Gerard. Like, we've been to some extent privy to your business because you have shared it on the internet. So, although I get you're trying to make a point by saying that nobody knows your business better than you, the fact remains you show a lot of your business. You reveal a lot of your business on the internet. So therefore, anybody who has been watching you for all of these years are also privy to your business because you shared it with everybody.
They've made this woman like such like a, I understand that she's his partner, but that doesn't matter. Like, when you have kids, those are you and the other person's kids that you guys had. You know what I mean? But they constantly, the people who write the false narrative, they constantly want to make it about her and whatever. It's not about her. It's not. It's not. I'm sorry. I don't. Yeah. So it's just not. So, and I think it's common sense because anybody who has children, and has to co-parent, it's about the parents and the kids. Like, if I had a husband, it wouldn't be about my husband, us, and the kid. No, my husband is just my husband. Like, does that make sense? Like, does that make sense or no? I feel like it doesn't make sense because people like, yeah, no shit. Just like, if they had I had a stepfather, and my stepfather was not my father. Period, point blank. He was my step, and he had a place, and he knew his place, and everybody knew his place. You understand? And he took care of me. You feel me? He did. So to this day, he's still doing his part. You know what I mean? He's still doing his big one for his stepdaughter. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't like pushed on it, like, now your dad doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you're here, so now your dad doesn't matter. So I said what I said, and we're going to move past this, okay?
Olivia, what you're saying is not making sense because you're trying to make the point by saying that if you are in a co-parenting situation and the children involved are not your biological children, it shouldn't be about you. You shouldn't be involved. Only the parents should be involved. But then you turn around and express your experience that you had with your stepfather. And you said that your stepfather was in your life and he took care of you and he's still there for you as a grown woman. So what are we saying here? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't say on one hand, Nisha shouldn't be involved because she's not the biological mother, but then turn around and say that you was in a situation where your stepfather was pretty much like Anisha. Your stepfather wasn't the biological father of you, but he showed up as a father when your real father didn't show up. And even to this day, you rely on your stepfather for financial help. So you're actually proving the point of the majority. When people say to you that you're sitting here getting upset at Nisha, and for some things that you may feel a certain way about, that's one thing. But when it comes to how she's showing up for your children, and she's there for your children in more ways than you are able to be or have shown an interest in being, it's like, how do you knock her and not, give her credit for that, but in turn you're giving credit to someone who didn't, who wasn't basically your biological father, but he showed up for you too. It's like, I don't understand the argument that you're trying to make because it's just not making sense.
he still has feelings for you. Yeah. Liv, you don't show up for them kids. Yeah, I don't because I don't want to go to prison for the rest of my life. Like I said, we're going to get into it.
I did find that to be interesting that that was her response, because she's explaining to some degree why she doesn't attend, special events that her children have, whether it's a graduation, whether it's, their extracurricular activities outside of school. She's saying that the reason why she doesn't attend these events is because she doesn't want to spend the rest of her life in prison.
Yeah, I mean, the people who have been here long enough, and most of you guys have, but you guys like to act like it's something that it's not. I understand. I get it. If you don't like somebody, you can pretty much tell yourself anything and start believing it. You know what I mean? And that's okay. But I'm going to talk about the truth forever and always, and we're going to keep it the truth. Because when you guys veer off to the left and go on to fairylands and make it something that is not, I'm going to bring you guys back to reality, and I'm going to remind you of what it is. And just in case you haven't heard the whole story and you don't know what happened, you don't know what it really is, and you hear the bullshit from everybody else, I'm just going to talk about what it truly is. So I do the internet. Me. Hi. People are like, why does Olivia always have her attention? Like, why is she always talking about this? Because I do and I'm not talking to Amanda, I'm talking to the bitches in the back. I do the internet. That's how you guys met me. Olivia was doing the internet. Her family was just there. Okay? But I was doing the internet. I was picking up the camera. I was filming the videos. I was editing the videos. And I was posting the videos. Not him. And she was nowhere to be found. Number one. So, my whole divorce, my whole breakup, everything. Yes, it played out on the internet. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret nothing. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen, okay? But do I wish? No, I can't even say that. My feelings were my feelings. My feelings were valid in the moment, okay? I wish that I didn't trust him the way that I was trusting him. I had no reason to trust a man. Never trust a man, okay? Never do that, because they will fuck you over, take everything from you. They'll do whatever they need to do to hurt and destroy you. I learned that. But do I regret talking shit? Nope. I'll do it again. Do I regret feeling the way I felt? Nope. I was hurt and I was going through it. And I was going through a huge life-changing moment in my life. And it happened the way it happened. But now, today, oh girl, I've been over it. I've been over it.
I think Olivia fails to realize that most women understand that her trying to go through the processes that she went through in the early stages of when her and Gerard split up. I think a lot of people understand that your feelings were valid. You were hurt. And you did express your anger in a lot of ways. You expressed your hurt in a lot of ways. You did some things that were understandable. You did some things that went too far. But you're absolutely correct. You were in the moment trying to process everything that had happened. The issue is you did do a lot of things that shouldn't have been done. And you're trying to package it all under this umbrella of, I should be allowed to go through what I went through in the way that I needed to go through it. That may have been your mechanism, but it doesn't mean that how you went about it was correct, because a lot of the things that you did caused an effect on your children. It also caused an effect on the reality that you ended up losing 3 of your children because you didn't handle situations correctly. So when I say there are a lot of layers to all of this, there are a lot of layers to this. And everything that transpired It wasn't just black and white.
You have to understand how this, and we have to talk about them because they're a part of it. You have to understand how their relationship came to be. Okay? I was married to my husband and she was sleeping with my husband. The only reason I'm bringing this up, let me say this again for the bitches in the back, is because it's the truth. Okay? Okay. So when you already start a situation like that, like on shaky grounds, on when you're hurting another person, when you're going behind you, when the person has a wife, whatever the case may be, the people could be getting a divorce, not living together, cheating on it, whatever. It could be the worst. It could be the worst of the worst situations. But the fact was, whether I was sleeping with somebody else or he, blah, 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 he was married and we were still sleeping together. That's all that matters, okay? And this is before I met Brandon. So anyone who's going to be like, well, you were sleeping with Brandon. No, this is before I even met Brandon, okay? The only reason I started with Brandon is because I found out he was with that lady. Okay? So I was like, okay, cool. You moved on. I'm going to try to move on. But he tried to sabotage that. My ex-husband. Okay? Okay, cool.
And this is the part right here where I have a hard time understanding why it is that some people's recollection of how this transpired is different, because I remember this. I didn't watch when Olivia first started her YouTube channel, but I started watching her a little bit before they actually got married. It was some months before she got married. So I do recall what she's talking about here. That this has kind of been what has been like in the back of my mind as I've been doing commentary with her, and why I kind of pick and choose what I say, because I don't understand why this piece kind of gets brushed to the side. Now, some people may take this as I'm defending Olivia. It's not about defending Olivia. It's about, speaking on the facts. Because in order to get an understanding of a situation, you have to be able to look at the evidence. And the reality is, her and Gerard was cheating on each other. And regardless of who cheated on who first, that doesn't really matter. The issue is they both stepped out of their marriage. They both were unfaithful. And some people look at marriage differently. I'm a true believer that even if y'all are having problems, even if in your heart you called it quits, you know you're going to divorce this person, you should not entertain another relationship until you are actually divorced. Like, sign papers, finished. Because I'm married. I've been married for a long time, and I know how it would make me feel if I was in that type of a situation. I would want my husband to respect me enough to not entertain another woman, or to try to start a new relationship with another woman until he has properly ended the relationship. I think that is the respect that should be given to marriage. And that's just how I look at it. But I get a lot of people look at marriage differently. But I'm just basing my opinions on how I view marriage. And I feel that Gerard was wrong for entertaining another relationship while he was still technically married. And I feel Nisha was wrong for engaging in a relationship with a man who she knew was still technically married. Now, people can feel what they feel, but if we're just solely looking at it from the standpoint of what is right when it comes to marriage, then it shouldn't be difficult to see it for what it is.
All right, so that's the facts. So when you start a relationship out like that, it's already bad. You understand? Like, if I was already divorced, we already got a divorce decree, custody situation went through, da 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 da, and then they met and got together and whatever, then that would have been a whole different situation between her and I, between everything, the whole dynamic. But you were sleeping with my husband, period, point blank. And she knew I was still with him. She knew I still loved him. She knew I told her this over the phone. You guys saw the video. So she was that type of woman from the jump. Okay? Remember that. And no, he didn't know her first. He met her the summer we broke up, because you guys like to make that up too. Oh, he knew her from back in the... No, he never knew her. He met her the summer I left. I moved to Florida. They met then. Okay? Then they had like a fling, and then he came, married me, blah 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 blah. Okay? That's how it happens. So, get it right if you're going to talk about the situation. I know she's never been pregnant. She's never da da da. They didn't have a relationship ever while him and I were together back in the day. Okay? Okay, cool. So, with that being said, that's how the situation started. And then, of course, I was mad. Of course, I talked shit. Of course, I told her I was going to beat her. I grasped at everything. You would too. Because that's what women who have been with men and have children with men and find out about another bitch, that's how we tend to act. Right, ladies? Right? Or was Liv the first one to ever act crazy? No, not at all. Of course, in the beginning, I talked shit. And of course, I talked shit throughout the years. Of course, because the shit just got worse and worse and worse.
To a certain degree, I get what Olivia is saying. Only if this only lasted towards the beginning portion when it was fresh. And I say that because Olivia was entertaining other men after the fact. She was with Brandon, she was with Zolo, and the list goes on and on. And so I could give her some credit for her lashing out at Nisha in the very beginning, because that was hurtful. I get it. I would probably be feeling a certain way too. I would have handled it differently, but I get why Olivia lashed out at Nisha. Just like I get why she was lashing out at Gerard. However, if you was entertaining other men and you was sleeping with other men and you had other men living with you and you was getting pregnant by other men, now that right there, I don't understand why you feel that you had every right during those years to drag Nisha and to drag Gerard, because you moved on when it came to you hooking up with other men and you having babies by other men. So why did the dragging continue? That's where you lost me. Because it's one thing to say this is what happened and this is why I was, dragging Nisha the way that I was. Okay, cool. But why keep doing it? What's the point if you're saying you don't care about Gerard like that? If you're saying it's only about the kids, why do you keep dragging this woman? Why do you keep throwing insults? Why do you keep attacking her fertility? Why do you keep putting your children in awkward, uncomfortable situations when they were with you, and you would say all of these things about her, knowing they had to go back and be in the same household with her? Why do that? If all these years later, it shouldn't have mattered anymore. It shouldn't have hurt you anymore. You shouldn't have been bothered by the fact that this woman is still present in Gerard's life if you had moved on with all these different men. That part doesn't make sense to me. And you can't say that this is your excuse for why you talked about her the way you did all these years, because it shouldn't have been where you were still doing this. There is no excuse for you doing it. You was just being downright nasty because that's what you wanted to do. And so if it was truly you didn't care anymore and you don't have these feelings anymore about Gerard, explain why you would still feel the way you feel about Nisha if you literally moved on from Gerard.
So much has gone on, and I've been played with so much about my children. I don't care about him. I didn't care about him in 2021. Yeah, it hurt still. Yes, I was going through my divorce, but the loss of my children is what gutted me from the inside, not the loss of him. I don't give a fuck if the man's in a mansion driving a Porsche going to Africa every other fucking weekend. I don't give a fuck what he's doing. I don't care about his life because that's not the man that I want. Yes, I slept with him a year ago, but my core intention of sleeping with him was to get him to change shit up with my child stuff, with my kid stuff. Not exactly just child support, just custody, period. It was stupid, it was dumb. I didn't go about it the right way because that was the first time I ever did something like that. That was like, I'm not even that type of person. I'm not this type of person that even does this weird shady shit. You know, I only act shady and do like this shady, weird, gross shit when I'm around that man.
I've said this a few times already, but I will say it again for context purposes. I believe that she initially hooked up with Gerard because she was desperate to get her children back. That part I do believe. And the reason why I believe is for a few reasons. When she did that call in and we covered that live, and I made, because this is going to have to be a part 2, y'all, because there's so much in this video. There's no way I can just do one reaction to it because it's too much to talk about here. But when she did that call in and this one lady called in and spoke with her and basically was telling her that Olivia basically played herself and that she basically started all over back to square one. And when she told Olivia that, Olivia broke down crying. Now, I know Olivia wants to convince people that when she cries, it's for fake. Some of it, I do believe it is for fake. But there are some moments where Olivia has shed real tears on this internet. That was one of those moments. And Olivia realized in that moment that what that girl was telling her was true. And I do believe, because I kept saying, and I've said it in many videos, that I remember the moment when I started suspecting that something was going on behind the scenes. And when she did that video, talking about she was in her feelings, and that was how she entitled the video, but all throughout the video, she was talking about Gerard. On top of the fact that this girl went years dragging this man for pure filth, and then turned around and started showing pictures, reminiscing. And she was saying little things that made me believe even more that she was back messing around with him, and it was confirmed. Now, I know people are still back and forth with this whole, whether people believe it or not, but it's too many things that I noticed, too many things that adds up to me that they were back messing around. And so I can believe that Olivia did this because she wanted to get access to her children. And yeah, she did play herself because obviously she didn't know what she was doing. And I think a lot of it was because she caught feelings again. And I expressed that too. I called it. And that's exactly what it was. She admitted to it, finally. But I do believe that initially she did want to try to trap Gerard. So You know, that can this I'm pretty sure this is going to be a conversation where we're just going to have to respectfully agree to disagree. Um but I do recall when that lady was speaking to her and she was speaking real truth to her. Olivia broke down because you could see it. You could see that this woman was reading her truth. She was exposing what was really going on with Olivia, and Olivia showed it. She confirmed it, not just with her tears, but if you watch her, you can tell it was hitting her deep. So I know that her and Gerard messed around with each other.
I had a motive. It didn't go through the way it was supposed to because he will not relinquish control over me. He thinks that he has some type of control over me um, with this situation, you know? So he will never let that go. He will never let that go. You guys don't know him for real. Um, so, but yeah, that's why we can never just sit down because too much has been done. First of all, in no world can him and I even be cool. Not because I'm so immature and I won't allow it to happen. No, because I'm over them. I'm over that whole situation. I'm over them being, I don't care if they're married together. Good for them. That's great. But do you guys think that she would ever allow us to co-parent together? Like, do you guys ever think that, honestly, do you think that he could be in a room with me and not try anything? Like, honestly. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm the shit and no. And whatever. You guys can be like, oh, well, he's only doing that because you're easy. Oh my God. Can you please keep the narcissistic gaslighting? I don't give a fuck why he does it. I'll never understand the mind of a narcissist. I will not. I'll never understand a crazy person's mind. I don't know why he does things. Maybe he does things just to fuck around, just to da da da, but he really loves her. If that's what you guys think, if you think that's love, then you can think that's love. To me, that's not love. That's why I don't want to be with a person like that. I don't want to be with a man who, like I was with him. I was with him. I was his main. He had his side chicks. No, thank you. I don't want to be the main and a man has side chicks.
Now, I find that very hard to believe, Olivia, because if this is truly what the dynamic was, you were the main chick and Gerard had side chicks, the fact that you was still willing to put yourself in a situation where you ended up catching feelings again and you thought that he was going to leave Nisha for you, and the fact that that didn't happen, you was very much upset and you was crying, which lets me know that you really, I mean, I know you've admitted it now, but prior to you finally admitting it, you kept trying to convince people that you didn't care. You didn't care about him like that. But you finally admitted that you were in your feelings, that your feelings was hurt because you didn't expect him to choose her over you. But the fact that you're saying you would never put yourself in that situation again, you actually did. You actually did. And you considered doing it again because you believed him. Whatever he was telling you during that time y'all was messing around with each other, you believed it. And we also saw you, basically saying that you would be with Joey if he would make you the main chick. You was cool with him having other females as long as you could be the main chick. That's what you said out of your mouth about Joey. So it's very hard to believe that where you are today, you would never be a side chick. I can't take what you're saying seriously right here.
Not me. If you guys think that's goals, then that's okay. I'm not trying to put anybody down. But at the same time, don't put me down and don't make it about him and I because it's not about him and I. It's just the truth is the truth. The facts are the facts. Okay, it doesn't even matter to me anymore. Like I keep saying, it's over. It's done. I think that we should, at this point, at this motherfucking point, after everything that's been done to me, okay, I would still sit down with both of them because she just has to be there. Oh my God. I would still sit down and I would have a conversation. I would, as an adult. But if you think for a fucking second that I'm gonna walk in that bitch and give some respect that's not given back to me, you got me fucked up. Like this whole situation has been got me fucked up. Okay? And I will get my respect. Because I don't give a fuck who she is to the fucking internet or who she is to him. Those are my fucking kids. Period. Period. I don't care how much you keep them away from me, how much you brainwash them against me. I don't care about none of that shit. Those are my babies. Period, point blank. So you're gonna give me respect. Period. What the fuck? That's it. I'm not saying kiss my ass. I'm just saying respect me as such. I'm not going to respect you as the mother. You're not the fucking mom. Period. And that's what this situation has turned into. Like, oh God, how can I can't even like help you guys understand this situation. Let me tell you guys something. When I was with him, he is the type of man that you know is not shit, right? But he does shit to you, and then you have the upper hand against him. And he keeps giving you the up. That's why I always look like, oh, Olivia, you're so mean to him. You're emasculating him. No, it's because that nigga kept fucking me over. And then he knew he was fucking me over. So he would kind of like bow down in a sense because he knew he was doing wrong. Okay, you guys don't know of everything that man ever did. So I know it's the same type of situation with them because that's the type of man he is. Like, you already know he's not shit. You know he's gonna fuck around. You know he's gonna do this, this, and this, and this. So he bows down and he like lets her believe whatever she believes in her crazy mind. I'm sorry, you're crazy. Because you think those are your kids and they're not your kids. And he has let her control our co-parenting situation. It's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. And that's why I keep saying, like, I'm not gonna keep playing into this bullshit because it's all like a weird game between those two. Like, she just wants me gone and he just wants to control me. It's like a weird psychological game, and it will continue to be because, like I said, it's never gonna stop. And I wish that it would. I wish that he would grow up, do the work. And that's why I said grow up, because I don't care what you guys think. I'm immature. I'm the fucking problem. I'm always the problem. I'm not the problem. Maybe I'm the problem to him because he can't get over me. He can't get over. Of course he can't get over us. He didn't even heal correctly. And that's what I kept saying. He needs to heal. But he won't because he can't be by himself. Okay? And and my kids suffer because of it. My kids suffer because of it. So, yeah.
The truth of the matter is, it's really hard to fully see the situation because we're only seeing one side. You know, we see more of Olivia because, as she stated earlier, she was the one who did this thing. She was the one who did the internet. So Olivia has always been on the internet. We have always been able to see Olivia's life. We have always been able to see in her home, to see what her children are doing, how she is with her children, you know, what's going on in her life. We've had access to that. But when it comes to Gerard, we get little glimpses into his life. And that only comes through pictures that he posts on social media or little, you know, few seconds of video that he may post on social media. And the same with Nisha. We don't really get to see the full dynamic. We don't get to see what it looks like in their home, how they are with each other, how they are, you know, with the children. We don't get to hear real life conversations, unscripted, unedited, just in real time. We're not seeing that. You can show whatever you want to show in a snapshot. You know? You can monitor what you want the people to see based off of what you choose to show. So we're not able to really see the real and the raw, if you will, when it comes from Gerard and Nisha's side. So a lot of what has transpired over the years is perception. It's opinion. But we haven't really just been able to see what it is. So even though I try to do commentary honestly, it's hard to give a rounded commentary on this whole situation because we don't really get to see and hear and observe what's really going on the other side of this. And so all that's left is interpretation to what is perceived to be however you choose to interpret. I don't like to just run off of just random, opinions or, assumptions. I try to fill in the gaps, but it's just hard for me to just completely discount everything that Olivia is saying because I can't say 100% if she's lying. How can I say that if I'm not able to witness what's really going on the side of Gerard and Nisha? We really don't hear from Nisha. We really don't hear from Gerard. We hear more from Gerard or see more from him than we do Nisha. But nothing really is being addressed. Nothing really is being said. And again, we don't see how the children are interacting in that home when they're there with their father and with Nisha. We don't get to see those interactions. So how can we really say we know 100% what it is? I can't say that. I don't feel comfortable saying that. But what I can say is usually when someone is lying, you can pretty much tell because the stories change up. They change up a lot. But when a person is telling the truth, 9 times out of 10, their story is going to be consistent. There's not going to be any changing of what information they share, the details they provide. It always sounds the same. And when the details don't change up and everything is consistent to what they've been saying, usually that person is telling the truth. And so, as I've stated before, I think there is a lot to this story that we may never know. We may never get all the answers that we're looking to get. But I don't feel 100% comfortable just saying everything that Olivia is saying about this situation is not true. I can't say that. Because I'm really all about, trying to get to the bottom of things. I have to make sense in my own mind. And there are just too many things that is just not adding up when I look at the situation as a whole. And that's why I've always made it a point to say, because I truly believe it, all parties involved have done some things that were incorrect. And all parties involved have a responsibility in why these 3 children are being affected to some degree. When it comes to this whole situation and just speaking about what's really transpiring with Olivia and Gerard and Nisha and these children, me speaking on this has nothing to do with me playing sides. Like, I don't have a side to be on. I'm more so just trying to get an understanding, a real understanding of what is really happening here. That is my main concern and my main reason for why I speak on this, is I want to understand what the real is. But it's not about playing to a side, because I feel when you play to a side, it causes you to not see what you really need to see. It can definitely affect your ability to see a situation correctly. So that's why I really try my hardest to be fair. You know, I tend to lean on the side of what is true, what is right. So, but you know, there's still more to this live that we haven't even touched. I'm gonna definitely try to come back tomorrow so I can finish watching this live, because I haven't watched this live in its entirety. I'm pretty much watching along as I do this commentary. But with that being said, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. It's OneLove, and I'm out.